What's up, guys? NJ Slot Guy here with SlotsFan.com, coming with probably one of the best setup interviews here ever. I am in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Global Gaming Expo, and I have two not only very special guests, but two people very close to my heart as well. Eddie and Reiko from FNS Slots. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me, boys.
Thank you, John, for having us, man.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
So you
it's our
kidding me?
pleasure.
I can't do this with the microphone, you know.
Get
We're
what
ready.
I can.
We are prime time here. I'm in my second day of Vegas. I could barely move because of all the pain and no sleep. But with trips like this comes no sleep because of party animals like you two. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that right now, ladies and gentlemen, as Eddie and Reiko will lead us through their whole journey here, just like every channel has, with some extra questions that I'm going to add in that I've seemed to be doing in the last couple interviews, and hopefully catch you guys a little off guard. But hopefully some great, genuine answers, and I'm sure you guys are going to give me a great interview here. This is going to be one of my favorites, I can already tell. So let's get started here. Let the people know who don't know where you're from, how you started this. Let's roll right into it. One of you take it and run with it.
Well, since I'm the eldest, and I don't know why.
You are the eldest?
I wasn't
sure.
I'm the eldest. I'm the eldest of the FNS slot crew. But what's funny is when you end up a parent, one of the challenges you face is that you don't overreach by being something way more than you should be. And so when me and Reiko started our journey, what was really interesting is that Reiko was into these muscle cars, and it made me nervous. Just like I used to have a motorcycle. And that was my muscle car, and I loved getting on that bike and opening it up and going as fast as I could. And here it is. It's like some kind of way in our DNA. We are these crazy risk takers.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We just like taking these risks. And we like that freedom that goes with just doing what you really want to do. And sometimes we don't even know what that is. And I didn't see this coming. FNS slots, what the heck? I never saw it coming. My son was into these muscle cars, and he was fixing these add-ons, putting these add-ons on the car, and trying to make it go faster and faster. And then he'd want to get me in there, and then floor that thing. And needless to say, I'm not a person that likes getting on like Ferris wheels and other rides, but that's what it was like being on a roller coaster ride with my youngest son, my youngest child. The last one I had, and he scared me to death with his desire to be himself, the risk taker he is. And so here it is. We on this journey where my son is doing these things with this car. And needless to say, to skip past all of that, we were at this casino, and I hit a hand pay.
Which casino?
I was at LaBerge, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
LaBerge, Baton Rouge, in Louisiana. And I hit a hand pay. Hadn't been there 5 minutes. So I called Reiko. I said, Reiko, come on down here. I got something I want to show you. Reiko gets down there, but before he got down there, I hit another hand pay. So now I done hit 2 hand pays.
That's it.
And when Reiko came, they were about to pay me for the first one, and they were doing the paperwork for the second hand pay. So needless to say, I didn't know what effect that was having on Reiko as much as that. So I gave him a little bit of money. Once they gave me my money, I gave him a little money.
That's nice.
Then Reiko went, and next thing you know, he came back with a handful of money. So he done took that money I gave him, and he done hit a little bit of something, and so we're all feeling pretty good. And within about 45 minutes, I think that day I hit 4 hand pays in their high limit room.
There you go.
And Reiko, for whatever the reason, he's the visionary on FNS slots, and he was able to take his car channel where he was doing uploads of how he added this onto his car and how his car could do this and go this fast, and and he turned it into FNS slots.
So Reiko, when you did, how did you stumble across the slot? Were you watching other people, like just about all of us were, and then you were like, I'm going to do this too?
That's what's funny about this. And what's hilarious. You guys are going to get this firsthand in this interview.
That's what we want.
This is just a surprise. So basically, that $700 hit. I had, I think, a $700 hit in Louisiana, and I went and bought these tires with that money just to tell y'all where it's coming from.
Yeah, yeah.
And I realized something. Dad, people on YouTube are playing slots and they're recording their play. And I'll be honest, straight up, some of the first channels I watched, Big Jackpot, I saw your channel.
Look at that.
Before we had a channel.
Okay.
Your channel. Brian Christopher, of course. There were a few channels that already had something established.
Yeah.
I showed my dad. I showed FNS Eddie this stuff.
That
I
was
showed
it.
him you.
Yes.
I showed him BC. I
Yes.
showed him TBJ.
Yes.
He could not stop watching.
Yeah.
I mean, it
It's-
was crazy.
Yeah, I started watching other channels because what I learned is I had my style of gambling,
Right.
and it worked until it didn't.
It worked until it didn't. Well
and
said.
then I found that style began to work again. So old things came back, and but either way it goes, the casino always won.
Right.
But if I could strategically minimize how much I give away
Yep.
and maximize how much I win and find a way to keep those winnings, I said, well, at least if I don't turn it into a profit-making thing, I am learning, and guess what? I like to gamble,
Yeah.
and I have fun gambling.
That's the one thing we all have in common as creators is prior to this, we were all gamblers in some space, right? And
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure anyway, like I don't think I've met a creator yet that like just did this to do this, but they
Yes.
weren't gamblers before. But I have a feeling that if there are ones out there like that, I bet you that, all the cream rises to the top, right? So it officially will at some point show itself, and you can tell that, right? And that'll be a big, a big drop off for them. I would say audience wise, you have an audience that is loyal to you for certain reasons, right? And I feel like you can't just come into this space and just try to do what everybody else is doing. You're going to have to try to perfect something, and or have something very unique about yourself. And now I'll talk and I'll speak as a fan is, I stumbled across you guys, I'm already an established channel, like you said, and ended up stumbling across you guys at some point, and I fell in love with it because of the father and son connection. And I said, oh man, I wish I was doing this with my father. That's immediately what drew me to you guys. Then seeing how much fun that you guys were having. These are going, even if this goes nowhere, you guys just made absolute memories with each other, with your family. Like you said, we were with your cousin last year.
Yeah.
And now, what started like that now turns into lifelong friendships. That's how I explained it to people too. Like meeting all these creators. I watched you guys because you were entertaining. I love that father and son thing. Then I met you guys, and that made me fall in love with you guys even more. You know what I mean? Like I said, like you guys are very close to my heart. I consider you guys very close friends. You have always taken care of me whenever I was down, in the Texas area, which by the way, I did ask you that before. Tell
Yes.
the people where you're from, and you didn't tell them. You only told them to the casino, right? He
The
didn't
political,
answer.
Yeah.
the
He didn't
political
answer.
answer.
He didn't answer. So, San Antonio, Texas,
San Antonio,
right?
Texas.
Absolutely.
That's where we're from now. I obviously love that because I was a big HBK Shawn Michaels fan growing up. So
Okay.
I was always familiar with San Antonio. Then I went down to Texas, and I'm thinking because like in Jersey, there's not anything that's more than 2.5 hours away. And when you guys are saying the ride you have to take to
Yes.
go to the, and I'm like, wait, you guys do this on the norm?
Yes.
Like,
Single
we just do
pass.
Once a
4-hour
week.
trips like it's nothing, right?
2.5 hours, yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? And it made me appreciate you guys even more because you guys are putting in a lot more work. When you think about it, driving to Windstar and Choctaw, that's not around the corner for you guys.
John, it's fun.
But
It's fun.
I know. Well, what's good is what the people don't know is I've been on the phone for some of those rides,
Absolutely.
and we were in the same car going from Choctaw to Windstar to Ontario, going back and forth, just
Yeah.
the conversations alone, and then like me in the back seat, and then me feeding into it a little bit, like when they start to go at each other.
Yeah.
It's fantastic stuff, and we're known to do that in Jersey. Wait till I bring Jerry and Mark into one of these interviews.
yeah.
It's just going to be screaming at each other and cursing, basically, because that's all we do. So when I see these two start chopping up with each other, what I immediately do is I'll throw something into the mix there, to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't take sides, but it's fun to watch. watch. Let me tell you, because as a father and son duo, of course,
Absolutely.
of course, there's that too, right? The father and son,
and he's
stuff.
become my father, so I feel much younger these days.
Now, what does he mean by that? Why did he say that?
I don't know. Matt, what do you mean?
Is it because you're getting older? Because you're the older one. You're getting younger. He's getting older.
I am getting much younger.
That's what it is.
And he has a need to keep me on the right path.
That's good.
See, my values are not always formulated completely at this point in my
Right.
life. So he has to step in and remind me about what really matters.
Yeah.
And so that's what he's doing. He's actually practicing so that when he gets all of the people that he's going to affect their lives, like honestly can say that I am most proud of not over-influencing.
I see what you
let
mean.
Rako become who Rako was supposed to become.
Yeah.
I did not try to guide him or influence him as much as just let him know the values that really work, like being honest. That's a value that works. Being able to be depended on.
Yeah.
That works. Trusting people that are worth trusting. That works. Mm-hmm. These are the things that I raised him with. And then in turn, I'm seeing him execute those same values.
That's right.
And I didn't actually push it down his throat. That was just like, that's his natural nature. Along with, he likes to take risks. His risk taking, I think he's even worse than me.
I've seen him in action.
Because him going in fast,
I've seen him in action.
He will make you go and use the bathroom when it gets said and done when you're riding with him in a car.
Let me.
That's funny. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
It's going to turn into a roast soon if we keep this up. So you started the channel. That's a great come up story to see how you guys started. Now this is it. This is FNS Slots. You guys have to take this and run with it and become even more than that, right? That's all our goal.
Absolutely.
And we will do that together. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure we are all relevant, one day. And if, like I said, I'll die on that hill. I don't care. If we got to be the pioneers of it, which I still think Brian is, I'll still stick to that. Like, I think he's the foundation of this. He's the one that is getting this out there as much as it is, but I still think we're on the ground floor. With that knowledge being there, where do you think, or where do you see your channel being? What's the next goal? What would be your next goal if you were to say you have your established channel, your YouTube, your Facebook, all this stuff? We all do it. Now, what's the next thing? What are you going to do with it? What's our next goal? What are we trying to accomplish?
Man, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I honestly feel like the next goal, beyond enjoying the moment and having that time with your viewers, because I gotta be honest with you, this is all about the viewers, the subscribers.
I'm glad you said that.
Bigger feeling than, or a more accomplished feeling than someone coming up to you when you're at Buc-ee's, and many of y'all might not know what Buc-ee's is, but it's a gas station, more than a gas station.
I know Buc-ee's. We know Buc-ee's. Let me tell you something about Buc-ee's, guys. Now, there aren't people that know this. I had to find out when I came down there. And I remember telling you, I pulled off to the side of the road. I had on, it was more of a winter clothes sort of thing. So I had on my fur coat, all that stuff. I walk in with all my jewelry on, pull into some barnyard. I'm ordering, whatever the manager special was and all this stuff. And they're like, "You're going to eat all that?" And I said, "No." I said, "My man." I go, "I know I look like a small guy." I said, "But I like to eat." "You're not from around here, are you?" "No, how could you tell that?" I can't get away with anything. My first sentence, the lady at the liquor store. Remember when we stopped at that liquor store?
Yeah.
And we said we would share the grand with that lady. She was very nice. And I think there was
Very
two of
nice.
them.
There were.
I think there was two of them. And as soon as I said my first sentence, the lady was like, "You're not from around here, are you?" I said, "Obviously not. What gave it away?" I probably threw an F-bomb in there because I can't do that. Anyways, we're talking about all the Southern hospitality that's down there, but the food, the Buc-ee's. Now, for those that don't understand, the Buc-ee's is a gas station. This gas station is the size of your local superstore. And then some. I have mega Walmarts up by me. And I remember walking into Buc-ee's, and they're pretty toe to toe, except you ain't getting the food at Walmart that you're getting at Buc-ee's.
No, you're not.
No.
I mean, legit full smoked brisket, slicing it up,
It's
getting it
so
ready,
good.
putting it into
It's
a
so good. It really is.
bun. Oh, it's
I've
so
never
good.
ate so well than when that one time we came down there for that bachelor party down in Texas for my brother-in-law. Shout out to Steven. He's been on the channel before. Steven was with me when I hit my 3 double diamonds on pinball. And we brought them down there, and not only did you guys take us out to dinner, which I believe was at Windstar. Was it Windstar Choctaw?
was.
It was
It
Windstar?
was, yeah.
Mickey Mantle Steakhouse?
Mickey
Yes.
Mantle's,
Did I
yeah.
just nail that?
You
Yeah, you
nailed it.
did.
Let me tell you
did.
something. I don't remember half of my morning, and I just remembered that. That's how my. That's all you guys, though, right? That's definitely all you guys, and that was the first time like my family was meeting you guys too. And man, they took us out to eat. We had every spread. We have Wagyu steak over here. We had the tomahawk steak on this side. We had another steak over here. We ate like kings, thanks to you too. And then I believe we did breakfast too, if I'm not mistaken. But that could have been another trip. But
Yeah.
I've always eaten very well with you guys. That's really what we're getting at.
Gotta
here.
do it.
That's
Mickey
Southern
Mantle's
hospitality stuff, man.
Kirby Steakhouse. That
And
steak
you know,
is butter.
one of the things that I can say, I feel like I've added family because of this community. This
Oh
community,
man, well said. He knows how to tug at
has
those heartstrings.
really opened me up to seeing people from all over the country. These slot channels are farming up, and some of them may be trying to achieve being able to become monetized. And I
Yeah.
remember that day.
Remember that?
For
Yes.
us. And then some of them are really have grown, but the humility in our community, the goodness of the people, and it's family. It's actually I have relatives. I appreciate the slot community so much because a lot of times you wish your family could be just like this community.
I want to double up on this and say, and like that was very well said, Eddie. And I feel like, at this point in my life, I was fighting more along the lines of friends that I had for years or whatever, and keeping in touch. Who doesn't keep in touch with who? Who makes you angry for whatever reason? Then, the slot community happened, and I remember like at some point traveling to you guys, whoever it may be, but like more life. I was filled with more life than I was at home. And I was sick of the fakeness at home and the fake this and the fake that. And then I stumble into this community, and now I've made lifelong friends, which, I'm closer with you guys than I am with the people I grew up with, and that does speak volumes, because it's not just because we're creators. We're just creators, so we're friends. It goes a lot deeper. The creator portion is what brought us together. That's what, right? Like if you weren't on YouTube, I was on YouTube. We walked past each other, right? So that's the initial point, and then you realize, like all across this country, there were people that you didn't even know that you would end up being friends with, and you have so many things in common with. Even as individuals, nobody judges anybody in this. I'm talking about our circle. Obviously, obviously the community is a little bit of a shit show, high school drama BS, and it does get a little annoying. But I feel like we have a really special group. I do. I feel like I feel like we have a nice umbrella group, under us. Sloticon proved that. And it just keeps, the people keep getting added to it, because there's so many channels too. Now we have an opportunity to meet so many more people, and I can't wait to do that, because it makes me think about you guys and Tim and Randy and everybody that I'm really close with. Like I said, I'm talking to creators 2-3 times a week. I won't talk to friends for months. Yeah. And it's like, wow, who really, are your friends, at that point? Like, you guys know more about me than some of the, the families that, my kid plays football with, like their friends. Like, you guys know a lot more about me than like those people do. It's crazy when you really break it down and think about it. That's why it was well said, Eddie. That really, that hits me in a certain way too, because I feel like I have made friends here, lifelong friends that I'm going to be friends with forever, regardless. YouTube can shut down tomorrow. That's not going to change anything. We're still going to stay in touch.
And I think that this industry, they probably find it very challenging to deal with a community of people like us, because we do have tons of people, for whatever the reason, we get blessed, go to the casino, the outcome may not be that good. We upload it, and then we start getting feedback from people. A lot of these people we won't even physically get to see.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it's like then you walk into the HEB that's down in San Antonio, and you got on your normal clothes, and then people stop and they say, FNS Eddie. What? I'm in my
Crazy,
HEB. Right? And then they say, FNS Eddie. I would say, okay. And they say, the next thing they say, where's FNS Rayco?
So that's perfect. That'll bring me to my next question. Do you guys remember the first time you were recognized? Or where it was, who it was, any of that stuff?
I don't remember the first instance. I'm sure it was in a casino.
Yeah,
like that's where
that
that's where
usually
I
is,
lean.
right?
But we have a tendency to really remember our regulars and some of the standouts. You know, some people will share some of their life story with you in person, and I'll tell you that can have an impact. You know, and it hits you, man, and you know, you realize you're making a difference in some of these, you know, a lot of these people's lives, you know, and they'll come out, they'll drive hours to come see you.
Yes.
And you say,
Yes.
hey, I'm going to be at the
That's
casino
crazy.
Tuesday, you know, Casino Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't have people drive 10 minutes to come see me that are like friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then I have a lady telling me she drove up from Virginia 6 hours, and then they're driving back the same night. Like, are you crazy?
Wow.
Like, are you crazy out of your mind?
Yeah.
That was it. Like that
That's
first
awesome.
group pull I did, hearing people tell those stories like that.
Yeah.
That's when I was
You
like,
know,
I matter.
The one that shocked me is I was at the airport.
Yeah, I got recognized at an airport too.
And I was with my wife.
So fun.
And so they stopped us, me and my wife, and I thought they were going to be talking to her because we were at the San Antonio airport, and they say, FNS Eddie. What?
Yeah.
My wife
Did I
was
hear
like,
that right?
what? Because she thought they were stopping us for her, and they actually recognized that they had seen some video we had just done.
It's a great moment.
And I just couldn't believe that they actually called me that, you know.
Yeah.
And Rayco was the one that came up with calling me FNS Eddie. You know, he loves saying
I
that.
love it. FNS Eddie.
It does. It goes well. It's better than just Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, because there's tons of Eddies, right? There's
Yeah.
tons of Eddies.
Yeah.
So you're FNS Eddie,
Yeah.
and nobody else can be FNS
Yes.
Eddie,
There
right?
you go.
So that's what makes you special.
Look at
and
that.
Unique.
Ride
Yeah.
that
Uh-oh.
pony, huh? That's that
Show
man.
the people.
Yeah.
Show the people.
And you know, when you get excited and while you're playing, and some of the slot gods are being good, and the money is flowing in a positive way, it's no greater feeling. It
That's
does
true.
make you, just like you're at church or something, it makes you want to dance.
Yeah. You're right.
That happy feeling.
Especially when we're all together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't wait to see what like tonight brings.
Yes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
when we really have like the crew together and we're all feeding off each other, and it was getting close to that last night.
Yeah.
It was getting close to that
Oh,
last
yeah,
night because
it
we had a
was.
couple of us there and we were getting a little deep. And tonight I feel like it'll be where there's like 12 or 15 of us deep, and
Yes.
tonight's gonna be your night to dance, and then maybe we'll add those dancing clips into this interview, and the
Well,
people could really see what you're about.
More
Eddie.
importantly, what we're going to do is we're going to be honest about what's going on.
That's right.
And in this industry, it ain't about the winning or
No.
the losing.
Nope.
It's just about us being who we are.
That's right.
And we have people coming up to us being who they are.
That's right.
That's what I appreciate.
People love you.
It's like people are connecting with us, and they're sharing with us that there's a need to have more venues where people just come together and just really appreciate each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so this community is added to my family, my son. I feel like at times I have a younger brother or an older son.
Don't do
I
this.
did-
You're gonna make me all
you know,
sentimental
you just
right
got
now. Don't do that.
You,
Gonna
you
have a
got so
moment.
much
Don't
wisdom.
do
I
that.
got to give you credit for being more than like someone who, I mean, you are very gifted at seeing and having the vision and bringing people together, you know. And I think I want to commend you for all the connections that you're causing and that you will cause. And our society needs more people to make that kind of difference. Just keep bringing people together.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get some stuff done because of that.
Absolutely. Eddie, well said. Again, man, talking about me words of wisdom. You got the words of wisdom right now for me. And, you know, it starts as I like to say this. It starts as a gambling addiction, right? That's how it started before the channel.
Hey.
It's like a little gambling addiction.
I'm for that.
Then we created content.
Yeah.
Then you have those people that share those stories with you, those heart-wrenching stories.
Yeah.
One of them happened down. I could have swore I was with you guys when this happened. A guy chased me down at Choctaw. And now, remember, I'm in Atlantic City, so my head's always on a swivel. Somebody's looking to get shanked out there. You're looking to get robbed. So I heard keys like dangling and getting closer to me, and I immediately like jerked myself back. I'm like, what the heck is this? And it was an older gentleman chasing me down, going, NJ Slot Guy, and he was shaking. I remember him shaking. I could have swore it was you guys with me. Maybe it was somebody else, because we've been down there with Casanovas too. But the gentleman started to share his story, and sure enough, he pulls out a picture of his son that passed away. Oh. And then that was immediately here with it, and he's like, I watch your videos, and that gets me through. And it's like, you never realize how deep this can be. Yeah. People have our words in this, and they can put together what we're saying, but until you really share those stories like that, they really don't understand how it is. Even if it's just one person that comes up to you and shares that story. You got me through my whomever passed away. You got me through all that. I watched you. I laughed at your videos. Like, you don't know what kind of, maybe what you talk them out of too. You know, what kind of depression they were falling into. It is the reason why when I'm ever in a room with people, I always try to break the room. I want to make everybody smile. I want to make everybody laugh. I want to see you all doing that. Yeah. In reality, in my own world, I'm a little bit of a miserable, and it's you guys that bring out the happiness in me. And my goal is that you never feel, that depression or as low or whatever. It could be random people like Donna that we met last night. Shout out to her, right?
Yeah, shout out to
we
Donna,
made her life last
and
night.
Another one, Jackpot Joe.
Jackpot Joe.
Jackpot Joe, yeah.
I love Jackpot Joe. I've been trying to get Jackpot Joe on this. I was hoping to run into him in G2A, but he was staying home. Trying to get to Atlantic City, all that stuff. Joe's going to be a fun interview because I've had a lot of personal times with Joe, just like I've had a lot of personal times with you, and Joe's a nut job. On to FNS slots, though. Joe will have his own time. He's got too much time already, if you ask me. So let's keep going with the channel. We're in Vegas. Eddie, what are your 3 favorite Vegas casinos? Rayco, Eddie.
It's not a name. It's the result. The one that treats me best.
That's what I always say with the machines. What's your favorite machine? The one that pays me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Amen to that. I have loyalty to the community of Vegas because they have put something together that is nowhere else in the world. Las Vegas, you say that? That's one of the 7 wonders, if you will.
Yeah, people
now.
like perk up.
So, Vegas, and when you're on the Strip, man, there's so many beautiful casinos, and you could go into a casino and you start playing, and it just takes like a vacuum. It's just sucking that little budget is gone.
Or you're playing with coins
last
night.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that?
Last night.
Come on, was that a throwback
that was
or what?
fun.
Did you like that?
That was pretty nice because I let my son experience with me. We went to the El Cortez first.
We did.
That's right, I heard about that.
And he got to experience his coin thing.
Okay.
So we went back, how many years ago was that? 30, 40 years ago?
30 years, you said.
Put the coins in the machine, and I hadn't seen a slot machine like that.
That was good. That was good.
said he saw me print and sprint with some coins.
Yes.
That was nice.
Yes.
That was fun. It was a lot of fun.
But give credit. I have to give shout out to Cosmo. It's been really good to us.
Really good.
I like the Palms for whatever reason. They've been pretty
I'm telling
good
you,
to
I like
us.
the Palms too. I was telling you about that.
Yeah.
Like, I ended up there one night.
Now, I was hating on El Cortez. But you know what happened to El Cortez? We started hating on them, and then they treated us good. So, now we're starting to. So, which is my favorite casino? I got to go back to that first answer, the one that treats us right.
But I respect that answer too. And now as a creator, these are just properties now, just like the machines become slot machines. I used to have favorite slot machines.
Yes.
Now I don't. There's so many new ones. There's so many ones I didn't play. I want to play the one that's going to pay me. That'll be one of my favorite ones today. Like Huff It Even More Puff hasn't paid me yet. And so it's one of my non-favorite machines right now. Right? But Mo Mummy, I've played once, and it gave me an 11-minute first spin bonus, and I've never played it again. So is it one of my favorite machines? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. It's one of my favorite machines that I'll never play again. No, I respect that answer. It is. It's kind of, like that. But then you have the people that I guess, like it for whatever. I feel like there's so much stuff out here. How can you go wrong? Like, look at the
Exactly.
suite we're sitting in, at the Palazzo, right?
You know,
like,
Beautiful.
yeah, like it's
You know,
just beautiful. Why wouldn't I?
one of the things that me and Rayco, we do this all the time. What we gonna play? And Rayco shares with me the different machines, and then I give him some feedback on what I'm thinking. And so he says to me yesterday, after we had just had a really good start over at El Cortez, and we're on the way to the Palms, and he said, "What we gonna play next?" And then next thing you know, we're talking about these pop with the flames.
Oh,
underneath
the
them.
big flap flaming
Yeah,
pots.
yeah.
Yeah,
Flaming pots, yeah.
in my experience on those pots, the pots been kicking my butt.
Always, they always do. That's why
Yeah.
they're there.
Just take.
Mirage.
I
They're
said,
all a
no, I
mirage.
don't want to play no pots. Well, FNS Rayco, he said, well, we're going to do the pots just because you said that.
How'd you do on the pots?
Oh,
The pots.
How'd you do?
How did he do on the pots?
Did you crush it?
You know what?
Couldn't stop? Did you get all three at once,
well,
by
all
any
I can
chance?
say is we got some footage coming up for y'all.
All right.
got some
Yeah,
footage
all right. I
coming.
like the teasers. The
Yeah,
teasers are
but
good.
yeah, and so my favorite machine goes back to what I said, but then the other thing is, like, some of these machines, you do so good, you'll be going back to play them again. It's hard to walk past a machine that treats you good.
Okay.
It is.
So what's your biggest jackpot of all time, on or off camera?
Well, we
Let's start low. Let's start low.
Start low, he says.
The big low. The big low.
Okay.
The big
well,
low.
the first big jackpot started with our channel
Off
and,
camera.
and the
You didn't
page.
record it.
When you see
We were in a channel.
We're in a channel,
Yeah,
yeah.
we were in
Okay.
a channel at the time. This
Okay,
was
give me both. Yeah, give me both. I want one off
Summertime.
camera, one on camera. This is good. Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Summertime is still one of the best summer songs of all time, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I can do the entire song for you, quote by quote. I'm not kidding you.
Man.
I'm not kidding you. We'll do that another
Do
time.
you guys want
On
to
our
see
ride.
this?
On our ride. He's the karaoke guy over there.
Yeah.
By the
So,
way, not me.
We have
Go
a
ahead.
story with this, actually. I can't just tell you the pot because there's a little bit behind it as
Okay.
far as
Let's get into
how
it
it
then.
kind of went. So
Let's get into it.
First thing is, let's start with, first of all, when we're going to the casino, what are we debating about? A lot of times we're debating about, what are we going to play, son?
Yeah.
We're like, well, Dad, to be honest with you, we haven't played this game in a while. Son, I don't want to play that game.
Yeah.
Nah. Let's see what the pot is, and maybe then we'll figure it out, So we get into this little debate. What are we going to do? What are we going to play? Well, Dad, I think we ought to play VGTs.
yes.
FNS Eddie's like, maybe we ought to just get there and see what we can do.
Oh, yeah. You know I love that. Every time I say that on camera, I shout you guys out.
I appreciate it.
So-
So we get to the casino, and as a wise man once told me, you survey the land, you walk the floor.
Yeah. Vulture. That's
Yeah.
what I call it. I vulture.
Yeah.
Like around, and I just, like the vultures do. They circle, kill.
That's right.
Usually the machine kills me, but that's okay. Keep going. Let's hear it.
We hear that.
Let's hear it.
There's a pot that's getting up there. The Food News,
Right.
AGS games. Shout
Right.
out to them. Food New, right at 35,000. We're looking at it, and FNS Eddie, I must have got the VGT in his head, and so we're listening to each other.
Yes.
He's feeling the VGTs when we get to the casino. He walks off, goes to the VGT, goes to
Cherries.
Crazy Cherry,
Crazy
Cherry
cherries, yes.
VGT.
Gotta love
$5.
those cherries.
Yeah, gotta
those
love those cherries.
Come on.
Cherries, red
See?
screen.
See?
Yeah.
777.
Yeah.
Hit the jackpot. This is
So-
too much. This is too much for me.
Yeah,
Got it.
he goes, he plays it, he hits exactly what he said, 777. He's excited. It's like 1100. It's something. He comes looking for me.
No, I called you first.
You called me first.
Yes, I
Did
called you and you didn't answer.
I
Didn't
didn't
answer.
answer.
No,
My
Can't
bad.
answer in the casino. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. He finds me, but I don't know if he sees me. I don't.
No,
see
I didn't see him.
You
I
didn't
see a
me.
crowd.
Oh,
A crowd.
A crowd.
Crowd.
and the only thing that
Around
draws
me.
a crowd.
And I was like,
is a
why
crowd.
is this crowd around here? I couldn't see Rayco.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't answer his phone.
Oh man.
And now we know why. And that's
Now we know
because
why. We hit
what happened?
Hit the 35-8. It was crazy. Just to give you the
You deserve that, by
Thank
the
you.
way. Great hit.
the feeling, man. It was just there. I hit the progressive pots where you pick the three
Yeah,
symbols to
of
match.
course.
I had two of everything. 2 minis, 2 minors, 2 majors, 2 grands. And then I go and I press the last one. The last one was the red boy, and he's just flashing. They're all flashing. And at this point, I'm thinking, I know I hit the grand. I know I hit the grand because he's red. That's what the pot says.
Yeah.
But nothing's happening. It's just flashing.
Yes.
I'm like, are they going to give me this money?
Malfunction.
I know.
Yeah, right,
I'm thinking,
malfunction.
I'm thinking it's going to be a malfunction or something. They're going to give me this money. And then it started counting up real fast. And,
There it
the
is.
numbers started counting up. And then this lady next to me says, oh, my God.
That's a beautiful thing right there.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. After that, the crowd came.
Yes.
FNS Eddie came to show me his spot. He said, son, look at what I...
Oh, boy. See ya. Right?
It was 10 minutes later before I finally told him what I came to show
Yeah.
him because he had a crowd around him.
That
And
sounds like something that would
And the
draw a
beauty
crowd.
of it is they were happy for us.
Damn
They
right,
were
man.
happy.
Isn't that the best when people are happy? Because we do get a lot
Yes.
of dirty looks too, and especially where I am, because everybody's just miserable and mean. Is when somebody hits, like they do one of these looks around the. Like I said, like how about a congratulations? How about a like I do? I love when people win. I go, that's what I'm talking about. Let's make this whatever.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there, but it's good to see that everybody
Yeah.
was happy for you. So now we get the off-camera one. Give me the on-camera one.
Well, needless to say, we had the same kind of discussion, what we're going to play. And our first choice sucked because the first choice, we just donated to the casino, and we had done that so many times. It's like, okay, so we need to go do something different. So we went to the backup plan, and we were playing, what is the name of that game, son? I just know it's got the...
The first one or the
No,
one
the-
we
the-
won the grand on?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's, I can't pronounce it properly. It's an AGS game as well. The sister game of Funan Funu, I think is Shu Hu Shin.
Nah, we're not going to do this.
Okay,
today.
yeah.
No, we should try- yeah, right now.
No, but,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but the
Nope.
bottom line is we call them 880s. But that's
Yeah.
what, we were playing the 880s, and
I say this one. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
we were playing these $8.80 bet. So you don't have to bet big, but we bet the $8.80, and I got the progressive pick on that, and then me and Reiko were discussing, what's going on, and I had two of everything as well. So the next pick was going to be the monster, and Reiko said, "Oh, it doesn't matter, Dad." So because it's already
said it's
predetermined.
predetermined.
I remember
He said,
Boom, hit it, right?
and then I touched it.
I remember this.
And when I touched it, I couldn't figure out I was kind of in a blank, in a daze there. It's like I couldn't figure out what just happened. And Reiko actually understood what happened. And needless to say, the siren went off, but I didn't hear it.
Okay.
And then Reiko said, he had said earlier, I wonder how you're going to act if you hit the grand. And lo and behold, I just hit the grand. And I'll let y'all go to our video to see how I act.
Titled-
Because the bottom line is, and that was a 40K hit.
Was
we
it
won
shock?
the grand.
Was it shock? Complete
Yeah,
shock?
it was like a more shock at first.
No reaction, right?
No reaction
So,
for me.
so these, the audience can be, what's a good word to use? Are we going to use this, Slots fan? Sometimes the audience can be bastards, and I say that meaning like in a situation like that, right? Do you guys like understand where I'm coming from, where the audience can be nasty to you too?
Oh.
And of course we get, I get bad comments too. I love it though. I
Yeah.
feed off it and I ask for it
okay.
too. I love it. I love trolling the trolls. And now I totally forgot where I was going with this. But
I like the trolls with the jewels in the middle. Those ones.
Sometimes, yeah, the regular trolls with the hair, the ones that have hair. And then I'm going to talk about how I have no hair now, and then I'm going to go completely off on a tangent. I don't remember what the heck I was talking about. I was going into the audience being terrible about something.
Well, basically, they expect us to behave a certain
there
way.
it is. There it is.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
So when I hit my biggest one, which was 25,000, 755, you
Nice.
don't hear me say a word. And it's because like I've played these machines all the time.
Yes.
This has never come out.
Yes.
And like there was too much calculation that needed to be involved here, 25 times 1,200, like and stuff like that. And it was more of a shocking. So when I say the audience was terrible, was oh look, he didn't even react. He probably lost that much. Those people I'm talking about. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Yeah.
Because nobody understands what it's like. I get more excited over the 6 balls dropping, right?
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
like the buzzsaws coming out. Yeah, here we
bonus
go.
and a bonus.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go with this. But when my Buffalo came out for 52,000, You don't hear me. You hear the waitress. She screamed because she
Yes.
knew. And I was like this.
Yeah.
Did that really just happen? Like,
I'm loving
no reaction. There's no reaction.
And you know, I watched that premiere and I loved every
Man,
second
that
of
was
it.
wild. So that premiere, if you remember this, that premiere, when that thing dropped, the waitress screamed, I cut it and I was in my backyard and I went, Buffalo! Do you remember that by any chance? So the people went bananas
Yeah.
for that one, which
And I
was
love
great.
that you did that commentary like that.
Which was
Yeah.
great, thank you.
Yes.
And, well, I felt like I didn't give them a reaction on the jackpot, you know, and they are obviously looking for this, you know, because then it seems like I lost all this money, so that's why I'm not excited. It's not that. It's shock, complete shock. Those 3 double diamonds fell for me on pinball.
Oh.
No reaction.
Yeah.
Then when it did it the second time in the same year, same machine,
Yeah.
same time of night, it was even more of a shock.
Yes.
Because it happens in 3 seconds. Ding, ding, ding. How can you expect me to react? I'll react better when the pinball comes out.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're going into this interactive game of 5 shots. That's what, you know, people really don't understand,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's where I'm glad we got that back because I was going off on a tangent there.
you're
Oof,
good.
I'm so happy we got that one back, Eddie. But now I hope it makes more sense when I say the audience were bastards. Sorry, I've said that
Can we ask one
multiple times.
one question to you?
What is
as far
this?
as
Whose interview is
We're
this?
gonna interview NJ. Just one question.
Whose interview is this?
We seen how you act when it hits, when the big boy comes out
Yeah.
on the outside.
Yeah.
But tell us, how did you feel on the inside?
I wanted to absolutely scream every curse word I know, every word in the book. I wanted to stand on top of the machines. Now, these people are very lucky that it didn't happen in a space where it was all of us or something, because then, like, things are going to get
We go
nuts.
freaking mad.
Mad.
Yeah,
I
it would
will
go ape.
stand on a machine.
Yeah.
I'll get thrown out of this.
Yeah,
Son
yeah.
of a gun.
Yeah,
You know, like, we're
yeah.
going to do, I'll go jump into Bellagio fountains. Bellagio wants to pay me enough money. Well, I'm going to go for a swim.
Yeah.
You find me for $1,000. I just hit for 52,000. Take your $1,000.
Yeah.
Here's another 1,000 for the second time I'm going to dive into this son of a bitch. You know what I mean, Eddie? Like, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, I think that so much of the audience that we are blessed to have goes down that road with us. And we pick up a whole bunch of people. We got all these different people that are viewing. When we look at how a video that we upload does,
Yeah.
and we got all those different views, thousands of views.
Thousands of views.
Hundreds of thousands of views,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact. I'll say it like this. We are raising up people. I think our audience really appreciates, because they know how rare it is for something like that to occur.
Absolutely. The
And-
real people are happy for you.
Yes,
Like you were
yeah.
saying, that crowd. Now you have a crowd of the world that loves you for who you guys are and stuff like that. So when they see you hit that, they're even happier for you, you know, on the other side.
And you know, one of the most fun things for me is that my son, he does so much of the work for our channel. And I go down and I look at all the comments behind the monster hit, or, you know, just some of the most fun videos that we put out there.
Genuine
And-
happiness.
And the happiness,
Genuine
and the
happiness.
positive comments.
And they are. And they really are. Like, they're sitting at home, not only loving you for who you are,
Yes.
they'll watch a losing video,
Yes.
but they see you hit that, they're in shock too, and
Yes.
then they are genuinely happy for you. You just made somebody in Maryland, you know what I mean? Like, they're sitting at home.
Yes.
Where they could be watching TV or anything else. They're watching you guys. They see you hit this jackpot, and they are genuinely happy for you. Where, like, if they had your phone number, they would call you up and say, "I'm so happy for you." You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
Now imagine if we could do that outreach. Your phone would be going nuts, though, Eddie.
Yes.
Because I'm giving it to everybody in the community after this interview. I'm going to put it in the comment section below. Everybody could call Eddie whenever they want. So seriously though, and that's where that audience, you know, like I said, those bad people in the audience, we don't do what we do for them.
Yes.
We do it for those people that we're talking about that have a genuine happiness. They are happy for everything you do, win or loss. They're always asking for you. They love every second of everything you guys do, including me. I love you guys too. You know, I'm a fan. I was a fan of you guys before we became friends. That's a fact, right? And vice versa. You just
Yes.
said it.
Same.
Literally, you watched
Oh,
me
yeah.
before. That's awesome to hear
Yeah.
that. That still is weird to me to hear. Like, oh yeah, we watched you before we became a channel. It's weird. It's weird to hear
Yeah.
that. Stefan says it every time. Shout out to Old School Slots.
Oh, that's
Another
yes.
interview. Another guy I've been hunting down who's been avoiding me for an interview, but I'll get him in front. It's weird to hear him say how his story started because it started with me, and it's just like that's so weird. That goes into everything we were just saying off camera when we were having coffee,
Yes.
right? And anyways, you know, everything I do will always be for everybody else. That's
Yes.
how I've always been, right? You do everything
Yeah.
for everybody else, not
Yes.
yourself. You can only make yourself so happy. It's rewarding when you make somebody else happy or somebody else laugh and you break somebody. I love, like I said, I like making people laugh. And that's why I wanted to do this interviewing stuff too, is, break some channels on here, get the laugh, bust some chops, and, people can see you outside of a slot machine and see how you are even more now. And they're going to fall in love with you even more. So I hope you're ready for that. Are you ready for that?
Well, what we're ready for is that there's room for everybody.
There's room for everybody.
And
it's
this
growing
community
every
is
day.
growing.
Every day. And to a massive amount. Like it's getting into numbers like I can't imagine. Like thousands and thousands of
Yes.
channels now. That's crazy. There was 25 channels when I started, maybe.
Yes.
I think at least. There's only 25 I saw.
And right in front of us, they got brand new channels every day. And I could say this, from no matter what size channel you are, you help people when you are genuine and you do it your way. We're all unique. So because of that uniqueness, how we approach the casino is relevant. And you have to be true to yourself. And, when you're screwing up and you're in the casino and you played a little too long on a machine, you know it. Go ahead and say it, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
We show you
Same.
what we do, and we'll allow you to become who you're supposed to be.
That's
You
right.
do it your way. And that's what this community, it lets everybody be who they're supposed to be. And it's a great family.
Well said.
Yeah.
Are you ready for my last question?
I think we're ready.
So
Yes.
I haven't asked this much. I've only asked this once so far, but I like this as a good twist on it. What can you share with me today that you've never shared with your audience?
The relationship that I have with my wife as a result of becoming a slot influencer.
Wow, what an answer.
It's so funny. I could not believe that doing something. My wife does not appreciate me gambling at all.
Right.
And when she sees me play, I know it bothers her.
Okay.
She sees me put money in a slot machine, and when the money goes down, it affects her adversarially.
Right.
And I love that woman dearly. God blessed me with a life mate, gave me beautiful kids with that life mate. And then here I got her youngest son. We're out here, and I turned him into a degenerate. No, actually, he innately inherited my genetic pool, and he is a risk taker just like his dad. And together, FNS Slots is just kicking ass, but it just like messes with my wife. Now, what my wife does appreciate is she can see genuinely that some kind of way we have enough success because we paid cash for a brand new vehicle.
Right.
And we have no debt because of that vehicle, and we did that in 2023. So she knows we succeed, but it still bothers her. And I love her dearly, and I don't like doing things that bother her. But then I have to be true to myself because she has passion for a thing called karaoke. And she's a karaoke hostess.
That's right.
And she kicks ass, and I do whatever she asks me to do to help her continue to do what she loves to do. And then I have to admit, I learned that I love this here FNS slot stuff. And me and Rachel going gambling, I'd rather do that than, of course, support my wife. But then I love my wife, so I'm going to support her. So I share with this community. Me and my wife, we continue to build our relationship. We've been married some 40-odd years, and we dearly love each other. She can't stand me gambling. And you know what? I love her dearly, but I'm gambling with FNS Slots, y'all.
That's it. What about you, Rayco? Give me something.
All right. Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I hate to lose.
Who likes to lose?
That is true.
I hate
likes
to
to lose?
lose. Now, here's the thing. When you hear me, you hear the voice go up an octave, you know.
This is good, man.
Yeah, when you
This
hear
is
the
a good
voice go
share.
up an octave, now.
I know you think it's silly, but this is a good share, man.
It's funny, but yeah, it's silly. When you hear me hit you with that, thank you for watching.
Inside. Look at you tensing up right now. Inside, yeah. You just want to, right? Don't you wish there was like one of those things that popped down the side of a slot machine, like a speed bag or something like that? You could just wallop it. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If I had unlimited amount of funds,
Right.
I would have shattered
Yeah.
50 machines in every casino that I have visited because of how many times you want to take your hand and put it right through this screen. And when I see one broken, I feel that relief. When I see one and like the glass is shattered, I go, good for you, buddy, whoever did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it must have felt so good. You know it
Yeah.
did, right? Because you want to take your hand. There's money at stake here.
Yes.
You know, it is the only, like we are people in a space who give money to try to get money for the work we do. Who would go to work for 40 hours a week and hand their boss money? Nobody. We go and hand it to the slot machine so we could record the videos, and we
Yes.
have to hope that this SOB, son of a bitch bastard slot machine, sorry, Slots fan and all the audience out there, is going to hit. Do you know what the chances of that are? They're not good, Eddie. And a
Yes.
lot of that ends in anger, like
Yeah.
you're saying. And you want to just release that anger in any way possible, but you got to go, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe. When really, deep down inside, you want to say, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Now, I have a couple videos like this. They're out there in the world where I end the video in a way where they felt it and they loved how I ended it and how I cut it. It was so perfect, too. I'd be like, all right, guys, that'll do it from here. And like, as I'm saying that, this stupid ass top dollar has to go, you're a winner, or whatever, and say something stupid. I go, shut up, you rap bastard. And then I'll like, I'll cut it off like that. And they love it. They love that. And I'm like, that's great that I could be myself even more than I thought and show this anger, because who the hell is happy sitting there going, I just
kicked.
lost $1,000. I just lost $100 a minute. That was fun. What are you, dumb? This wasn't fun. This wasn't fun at all. I have to do this for you people. That's not, that's not good. I thought that was a great share. Again, everybody, you feel like it's a silly answer. That's a really good answer. So now you know deep down inside when you hear that octave go up.
When you hear the octave go up, you know what's going on.
Rayco's ready to, really, really rock and roll there.
In my head, I have broken probably,
How many?
I'd
Lots
say
of them.
150
Lucky Ducky.
slot
How many times have you
machines.
broken Lucky Ducky?
Oh, my goodness. I've broken
I
a
love
lot
that
in my
machine.
head, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So I think the lesson learned here is kind of take what I learned from sports as well. It's don't get too high with the highs and don't get too low with the lows.
Well said, man.
Roll with it. You know you're going to come back to it next week or whenever you're coming back, have fun.
That is an incredible close. That is a great end quote. So, boys, thank you. And obviously I say boys because of your young
I'm the
age.
youngest. Yes.
So we didn't know that, but Eddie is the youngest of
He
the
is,
group.
he is.
Thank
I'm
you,
a
fellas.
vampire, my bad.
Thank you, fellas. I really appreciate that. Rayco is the one that talked me into doing this in person, by the way, because I want to do it over StreamYard. He's like, why don't we just wait till G2A?
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier with the result. You guys are literally the first, to have this production set up that nobody can see behind camera.
Yeah.
Big special shout out to our guy Victor over there.
Yeah,
for
shout
setting
out
this
to
up.
Victor.
But thank you two very much for joining me. Thank you for giving me your
you for
time.
having us,
I love
NJ.
you both very much.
Thank you much.
So thank you guys. Check out FNS Slots, ladies and gentlemen. And this is NJ Slot Guy signing out for SlotsFan.com. Thank you for watching, guys.